watching 50 Years, a special report by Delta College News. I'm Alex Avila.
And I'm Gerald Hunter. Thanks for watching.
San Joaquin Delta College is celebrating its 50th anniversary in 2013.
This is a celebration of its formation as an independent college district in 1963.
To understand how important this is for our community, let's take a look at a brief history of San Joaquin Delta College.
To tell us more about that, here is DCTV Angela Bardot.
The year was 1963. Across the pond in the UK, the Beatles released their first album, Please Please Me. In the United States, Martin Luther King Jr. issued his letter from Birmingham jail. Also in the U.S., the country was rocked by the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. And here in Stockton, California, Stockton College became San Joaquin Delta College, giving birth to higher educational opportunities for generations in this community. San Joaquin Delta College is a successor of the Stockton Junior College that formed in 1935. The college initially served as a lower division institution for University of Pacific. Since 1963, the college has operated independently and in 1976 opened its main Stockton campus. Today, more than 25,000 students attend the college in more than 100 certificate and degree programs. For Delta College News, I'm Angela Bardot.
In late April, the college hosted a luncheon reuniting former faculty members and students.
It was an annual retiree reunion program, an opportunity to celebrate Delta's 50 years of service to the community.
The old contingent.
Marketing. He's in charge of base sale marketing.
Back away from the table.
Very good, Jordan. How are you? Okay. See, I got it with that one. Hey, don't be
we knew we were going to have a really big crowd, and this is really the only place we could do this event. So this is really a special event.
When it came to school colors and mascot, Bert Bradley came before the board and told us, the students have already picked those, just pass it. So we did.
Delta College's mission statement reads, "The faculty, staff, and students of San Joaquin Delta College envision a community of learners who pursue and achieve higher educational goals, commit themselves passionately to lifelong learning, and fully appreciate the diverse and dynamic world around them. From 1963 to 2013, Delta College has seen thousands come through its campus to forge a better life. Delta has provided its surrounding communities with an educated workforce, preparing students for a number of different career paths. While the campus has changed over the years, one thing has not: its dedication to high-quality learning, opening doors to success since 1963. SJDC honoring the past, embracing the future. For Delta College News, this is Marilyn Fialko-Chatnick.
The visionaries who were instrumental in building Delta College played an important role.
Delta has had a long-standing tradition of strong leadership. For a closer look at Delta's leaders throughout the years, here is DCTV's Seth Lohman.
Hello, my name is Seth Lohman with DCTV News, and I am here in the administration building, where we will be looking at past presidents of San Joaquin Delta College, which is proudly celebrating its 50th anniversary this year.
Delta's first president, Dr. Burke Bradley, joined Delta faculty in 1956. Dr. Bradley had a keen sense of what the district's demands were and strived for excellent leadership. Without his guidance and determination, Delta wouldn't be the institution that it is today. Soon after Dr. Bradley's presidency, Dr. Julio Borrelazzo took lead of Delta. Dr. Borrelazzo served as Delta's president from 1968 to 1969. One of Dr. Borrelazzo's crowning achievements was his aid in the passing of the $7 million bond to construct Delta. Dr. Joseph Blanchard began his role as president in 1969. Dr. Blanchard's experience in finance and construction supported his ability to gain state approval for various projects. They say that he was the right man at the right time for the right job. In July of 1976, Dr. Dale Parnell became president of Delta College. Dr. Parnell's combination of enthusiasm and personality was a perfect recipe to promote Delta's campus. From July 1981 to June 1987, Delta saw a new leader take control. Dr. Lawrence DeRico, as well as being Delta's president, held a position as business manager and vice president of management services at Delta for 18 years. I got to speak to Alma DeRico, Dr. Lawrence DeRico's wife, about the legacy of the DeRico name.
Well, it's something I'm very proud of, and having had the time together, and we enjoyed it. And I always said he worked hard and I had fun.
Yeah.
And so we traveled for the school and had, as I said, I had fun and he worked. And it amazes me that that from very little, that it has blossomed out to one of the, well, it was one of the best colleges, most beautiful colleges in the United States, and appreciated that. And there were a lot of wonderful people that worked together to make it what it was.
Dr. L.A. Chorton Jr. served his presidency from 1987 to 2000. Under his lead, a new child development center was created, and he became the longest-serving president to date. Dr. Edward Gould was a new millennium president of Delta, serving from the year 2000 to 2002. Dr. Gould developed and recommended policy for the state's 107 colleges and 71 districts in the area of student services. On August 1st, 2002, Dr. Raul Rodriguez joined Delta's long line of presidents. With extensive experience in community service and long history in education, Dr. Rodriguez served Delta for almost 8 years. Through all the generations of male leadership, Delta finally elected its first female president in 2012. All of the opportunity this college brings is all thanks to our current president, Dr. Kathy Hart.
Thank you for joining us in our look at Delta's history. From DCTV News, this is Seth Lohman.
Along with all the different leaders we've had throughout the years, there have also been changes made to the campus.
From the DeRico building to the new Goldman Library, there have been numerous additions to Delta. Giving us a tour around campus, here's DCTV's Louis Martinez.
San Joaquin Delta College definitely has changed throughout the years, but the positive atmosphere certainly has not. DCTV reporter Haley Gordon sits down with Delta historian Chuck Block to discuss the evolution of the campus.
Hi, I'm Haley Gordon with DCTV News, and I'm here to talk to Chuck Block today about the evolution of Delta's campus. So Chuck, can you tell me about how Delta campus began?
Well, the campus that we're sitting on now, the construction here began in 1971. There was nothing here. And that's interesting. I think a lot of people have forgotten the fact that when this site was selected, it was selected in the late 1960s, and it was a surplus property that was owned by the state of California.
This picture was taken in 1973, just 2 years after San Joaquin Delta College construction began.
Everything else is new, and we could say a lot about, if you felt like it, we could say a lot about the learning centers themselves, the 5 learning centers. Cunningham, and this one, Shima, Budd, and Locke, and Holt, all named for famous Stocktonians or people in San Joaquin County. And the first one that was constructed and opened was Cunningham in 1973. And a lot of people have forgotten something about Cunningham, and that is it's the best built center on the campus. It was designed to be a science center, and when they built it with steel that it was 2 inches wider, or in every measurement you took on it, it was 2 inches thicker and wider.
Although Cunningham was a well-structured science building, San Joaquin Delta College is currently constructing a more modernized science building.
What you're seeing here behind us, or in front of us here, is the prep area. Surrounding this area is all the lab spaces that will be served by this prep area. So in this space we have geology, physics, and some of the other spaces down on this floor. And this will be the central prep area for all their storage of supplies and materials that all the faculty can use for these spaces. So this area you're looking at here is going to be kind of a unique area. It's going to be an outdoor courtyard area that's going to have some hand-picked boulders that the geology department hand-picked, so they can use this as an outdoor teaching environment for the students.
Photographers Victor Mojica, Efrain Cacho, and I went around campus to take a series of photos to create time lapses, also known as hyperlapses, to show how the campus looks today. From DCTV News, this is Luis Martinez.
Over the years, Delta College has seen several talented athletes walk through these halls.
Since Delta's opening, we've built up various sports programs, from volleyball to basketball to many more. Here's DCTV Richard Reyes.
San Joaquin Delta College. When people hear this name, they think of a place to start their education for their future. What they don't really hear that much about is the sports athletes that have produced numerous champions from football.
Back, looking to his right, looking to the left, stepping up in the pocket, firing down the right side. He's got a man wide open.
To basketball. Double pump, inside move, got the 2 to go. Sports for 3. And that's what you do. Baseball. To softball. Volleyball. To water polo. Delta has celebrated numerous of championships and hung many banners inside Joe Blanchard Gym to remind us of the greatness that has passed through these hallways. Here is a look at some of the state and championship teams.
Delta's back, we faster and stronger, ready to attack, prepare for the impact, cover my stay, lay you out flat, cause when they Delta's back, we faster and stronger, ready to attack, prepare for the impact, cover my stay, lay you out flat.
I hope you enjoyed this sports segment. Richard Reyes, the Delta College Report.
The athletes aren't the only ones that have had to jump over some hurdles.
Achieving the unthinkable as the first attending students at Delta College, bringing us a triumphant story, here is DCTV's Natalia Diaz.
and we're here with Mr. Will Hoyt. We're covering success story for the 50th anniversary of Delta College, and we're here to ask some questions about his experience at Delta College.
Well, Stockton College was a focal point of Stockton and San Joaquin County at that time, not only education-wise, but also social-wise for young people just making that transition from high school into college, or in some people that were working and going back to school to get their AA degree. A great experience, a fun experience, and for me, a life-changing experience, and helped me through my career over the last 50 years with where I am today.
Douglas Wilhoit graduated from St. Mary's High School before coming to Stockton College in the fall of 1961. He was a member of both water polo and swimming teams under the legendary Bill Antella. He joined the Stockton Police Department in 1967, where he served as a patrol officer for 4 years before his promotion to community relations.
I served on the San Joaquin County Board of Supervisors for 16 years and was able to take that transition from the police department to a elected body that makes the rules instead of enforcing the rules or the laws. And was able to make some changes there, which I'm very proud of, and that was just a transition from Stockton College to USF to the Stockton Police Department to the Board of Supervisors, and 4 years after the board as chairman of the State Youth Offender Parole Board, and now to the Chamber, to your question, Natalia. Really, we're a business organization trying to help businesses move forward, small, medium, and large businesses in the community.
For DCTV, Natalia Diaz.
Will Hoyt's story goes to show that no one knows what the future has in store for us.
As we've reached the 50th anniversary milestone, we can't help but wonder what's in store for the next 50 years. Bringing us a look into the future, here is DCTV's Ashley Gordon.
This is Ashley Gordon for DCTV Report. Delta College just celebrated its 50th anniversary, where the theme was honoring its past, embracing the future. We'll be speaking with Dr. Kathy Hart to see what she thinks the future of Delta College is. Do you think that a community college is imperative to transfer to a four-year university?
Well, no, it's not imperative, because you can just go, many students can go right out of high school. But what it does do is, for some students, it provides them with the opportunity to kind of get a little bit more mature before they go off to college. Probably the biggest thing, though, is the amount of money that they can save by going for a couple of years and then transferring on, because it is much more reasonable. Even though, it's more than it used to be, it's still the best deal around. Most of the schools are into like $150 a unit, $200 a unit. So we're 46. So it's a good deal, and it's very good. It's a very good education too. I mean, the statistics show that students who transfer from here or any other community college actually do better than students who start out as freshmen in four-year schools.
Why do you think that is?
Well, part of it is probably because the ones who do transfer have been they've been really successful. If you take a student who's, all the ones who didn't succeed aren't transferring.
Right.
So the ones who started as freshmen at the four-year schools, a fair number of them will not succeed. So it's probably not a fair comparison, but it is nice to know that if you go to a community college and you complete and transfer, that you have a really good chance of getting your bachelor's degree.
I'm just wondering, for Stockton's sake, how important do you think that San Joaquin Delta College is for the city of Stockton?
Oh, it's incredibly important. For one, it provides this kind of 2-year preparation point for students to transfer. We don't have a 4-year school in town other than Pacific, which is both very selective and very expensive. So for a student to go to a 4-year school, they're going to have to go out of town. They're going to at least have to drive to Sac State or drive to Stanislaus, or they're going to have to go to one of the other schools where they would have to live at, someplace other than Stockton. So again, from the economic point of view, it's incredibly important. The other thing that it does is it doesn't just prepare students to transfer, it also prepares students to go directly to work. And so for those students who are interested in getting a career right away, it's an opportunity to do that at a very low cost. Because if you go to, one of the private schools or one of the proprietary schools like ITT or, one of those, the cost is extremely high for the same basic training as we would be giving here. So, if you were wanting to be a computer operator or something, you could do it much more cheaply by going here.
How do you think the 50th anniversary went?
Oh, I thought it was just a wonderful event. There were so many people who came back, many of whom I had not even met, because some of them had retired before I got to Delta, but many of them, I was amazed at how many of them I knew. I think the event itself was fabulous. The food was fantastic. It was decorated beautifully. It was really one of those events that everything just came together, and really I didn't have to do very much. I mean, people just wanted it to be special, and they did things to make it special.
So tell me, what, in your opinion, do you see for the next 10, 20, 30 years for Delta College?
Well, hopefully the economy will come back, because we've really been through some bad times here, as has Stockton. Of course, I would like to see Delta, create some new programs that would be good programs for people to get good jobs. I would like to see us expand and have more offerings out in our district. But those things are just impossible with the kind of resources that we have. And that's very unfortunate, because, people deserve to have education nearby where they live, and it would be great. I'd like to see us really do some exciting stuff in the, 10, 15 years down the way here, but unless the funding becomes available, I don't know how we could.
With Delta College being the pillar of success and the column of just accelerating in your schooling, in your education, if you will, do you see it continuing to be that within the next 10 to 20, 15, 35, 100 years? Hopefully.
Well, I don't know. It's hard to say what technological things might happen. I think there are a lot of things happening right now that could have a real huge effect on the way education is delivered. I mean, maybe at some point we won't have to have all this bricks and mortar like we do. Maybe there will be ways for people to go to school from home totally. Now we have a little of that, but nowhere near what we might be able to have someday. I mean, it might be possible, far in the future, or maybe not that far in the future, to do everything but lab from home. Because, lecture kind of could be done anywhere if it's done well. Mm-hmm. So, maybe in the future you would find a place like a physical plant like what we have here to be nothing but labs, and we'd turn all those lecture spaces into labs. Mm-hmm. It's really hard to say, because you don't really know what kinds of inventions and so on. If you look at the changes that have happened over the last, say, 50 years, it's almost unimaginable to think of what it might be like 50 years from now.
Once again, this is Ashley Gordon for the DCTV Report. Thank you so much for having that sit-down interview with us.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure.
The college plans several more events throughout the year. For more information, or if you have photos or stories to add to the celebration, email 50th anniversary@deltacollege.edu.
We hope you've enjoyed it and learned a bit about San Joaquin Delta College's contribution to our community. Thanks for watching this special report from Delta College News.